I'm Wolf from Healing Wolf Coaching, here to sail with you across the sea of recovery. And today I was thinking about whales, the whale of recovery. Let's take a deep breath in together, just kind of slow things down. Feeling chest and belly at the same time. Hold for a second, then release the day. A lot of my clients have an issue, or have had an issue, with knowing when they're making progress, knowing when they're recovering. What does recovery look like? And I started thinking about this as it relates to whales, because on April Fool's I put out an April Fool's joke about a whale, and then lots of people thought it was real in the community here, and suddenly 5 days later, there were whales. So did my April Fool's joke influence me being able to see whales in the wild, at the beach, on the shore for the first time in my life? I would say yes, because my mind was tuned to whales. So I'm suggesting you tune your mind to recovery. First, if you want to see whales, you have to believe in whales. You have to feel like you could see a whale so you can recover. Building that, cultivating that belief is the real first step in recovery, knowing that you can recover. So what do you do to cultivate that? You look. What do you do to learn about whales? Well, you look at pictures of whales. You can look at videos of whales. So in this case of recovery, if you have chronic pain or anxiety, you can go on YouTube and watch stories of people who have recovered and hear about their mindset shifts that got them to recovery, how they started thinking about whales and then they saw whales, how they started thinking about recovery and then they saw recovery. So they're making progress with their belief. That's where the progress is made. A lot of people think that when you have something like anxiety, the progress is going to initially look like your anxiety is going to disappear, or it's going to get way easier. It's going to fade out immediately. And what the science has shown, and what the wisdom of other practitioners has shown, and my own work with clients and my own journey, is that it's a non-linear process. So a non-linear process means that things can get better and then things can go down again. You can experience sensations of anxiety or pain, and then they can fade a little bit, then they can pop back up. Why is that happening? Mind is testing. Mind is asking again. Mind is maybe stressed out, and so the sensations can come back. So back to the whales thing. If we're looking for recovery, we're looking for whales. We don't expect to see the whole whale. We're on shore and we're looking out into the blue, the hammered blue of the ocean. We don't expect to see this whole whale just appear out of nowhere. And the same goes for recovery. You don't expect, and maybe you do, maybe this is why folks get stuck, is because they're expecting to see this whole whale appear out of nowhere. And that's not how whales show up. They show up with a nose above the water. They show up with a spray from their blowhole. You might see a little ripple of tail. Unless you're flying above, then you might be able to see the whole whale. Or you're down under the water, you might be able to see the whole whale. But most people on the recovery journey, they get hints of the whale. So getting hints of a recovery whale looks like you had a little bit better mindset. You forgot one of your triggers for one experience. So for example, you maybe have a trigger with standing, but you went out to a bowling alley with your family and you were standing and you didn't have anxiety, you didn't have pain, it didn't show up. Well, that's a hint. That's a hint of the whale. It's a hint of progress. Or you just forgot that you were on a recovery journey for a while. Maybe you were on a phone call with a friend, or you were cleaning something in your house, or you were cooking a meal, and you just forgot that. That's a sign of progress as well. As well. As well. So these little hints of recovery, the little hints of the whale, the blowhole, that can be just feeling suddenly like you're able to breathe better. You're able to move better. You're a little more relaxed in your body. You're able to laugh a little more. You have curiosity. You're feeling better overall about life. And one of the things that's most fascinating about recovery to me is that if you watch it, if you watch the clock, if you measure it, if you're trying to check and see if you're anxious and you're testing it, you're poking at it, and you're poking at it, that's a good way for it to back away from you, that recovery. If you're poking at a whale, let's say you got an oar and you're poking at a whale, the whale's going to take off. What do you want to do? You want to be patient. You want to sit on shore or stand on shore and let the whale come to you. Let the recovery come to you versus trying to force that recovery to happen and realizing you're not going to see the whole whale at once. You might realize it at some point. What you're looking at is a real recovery here. And then there's recovery amnesia, where you're confident that you've recovered. Clients have told me, hey, I was doing great for a week, and then suddenly something stressful happened, and I had a bunch of sensations again, whether that was panic, chronic pain, anxiety, whatever the sensations were. Same thing happens with addiction recovery. Same things happens with weight loss journeys, all the type of journeys that are controlled by unconscious mind. And unconscious mind is controlling it all. So we want to be patient. We want to wait on the shore. We want to visualize whales. We want to joke about whales. We want to talk about whales. In my case, I was even painting whales. So ancient people in the caves, they used to draw what they wanted to catch. They would paint on the walls as the bison and the birds, whatever they were hunting. They would draw it on the wall with charcoal, maybe a little blood, and that was the ritual. And that set the intention that they were going to find that food, that they were going to manifest that food. So do the same thing with your recovery. Remind yourself when these little signs of a whale come up, a sign of recovery comes up, remind yourself of what's happening. Hey, I'm recovering. Say it out loud. I'm recovering. I wrote a song called I'm Recovering, or Brighter Days Await Us All. You can look that up on YouTube under the Winterlings. And my friend Courtney also covered that one in a beautiful way, so you can check that out too. And that reinforcement, that focus, with a gentle focus, with a patient focus, brings the recovery in. The recovery is coming to you as much as you're going to the recovery. You meet in the middle. It's a dance. You can't force it. You can't time it. You can't direct it. Much in the same way as you can't direct a whale. The whale's going to do what the whale's going to do. But you're ready. You're looking for the signs of the whale, and you're doing everything that you know to do to bring yourself into a space where you're ready for recovery. You're ready for those sensations to fade. There are lots of techniques to get you ready. There are lots of techniques that you can do. But the main one is to embrace life with an attitude that the sensations are safe, they're okay, they're not a big deal. You bring indifference. You bring radical allowing and even gratitude, saying thank you to the sensations, because without those sensations, how are you going to recover? You've got to train your mind to be okay with the sensations. So think about the whale as you recover. Think about how you can positively envision what's coming for you. And it's big. It's a big recovery. It's huge to go from being bedbound or debilitated with anxiety to going back into life, to going surfing, to going running, to going walking. And yes, a lot of these physical things seemed like they were out of reach at one point. Whales seem like they're out of reach. And yet they show up, they're real. We look at photographs of them. We watch videos of them. We look at photographs of people who recovered. We listen to people who recovered tell their stories. We get excited about it. And that excitement brings it to us. Much like lightning. I don't know if you probably know this already, but lightning, when lightning comes down, it also comes up from the earth. And they film this happening. So it's like you're meeting it in the middle. So let me know in the comments, send me a message, how you're looking at recovery like a whale, and how you can implement what I've been talking about here today, how you can be patient, how you can manifest that recovery, and you can look for subtle signs at first, and eventually you'll be right up, the whale's going to be right in your face, the recovery's going to be right in your face, and then it'll be past you, and you'll be living your life, and you'll look back and say, you know what? I recovered. I saw a whale. It'll be a story to tell, folks, and a story that'll help others move through their own recovery. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following, listening, subscribing, commenting. I love you. I know you can do this. I know you've got everything you need to recover, everything you need to see a whale. It doesn't matter what happened in the past. It matters where your mind is now. So keep your mind on the whale. Keep your mind on the recovery. Not in an aggressive, forcing way, but in a curious way, in a lighthearted way, looking for that. It's coming for you. I'll see you in the next video.